at South African universities. So thank you, Nina. There's a question or there's a comment in the chat box that, is this meeting going to be recorded? Yes, indeed, we are going to record it. And for all of you to know that, please also take note that your microphones, if you're a participant, will be muted, so you will not be able to ask a question, but we encourage you to type away and ask questions as we go along. So what is the purpose of this meeting? And I'm sure all of you feel like you are back at university, because today we are going to discuss and give you an update of the food science and food technology programs that are currently offered at 9 of the South African universities. And the intention is really to give employers an opportunity to understand what students are doing at the universities at this time. Maybe you are a SAFOST member and you've studied a few years ago and you wonder, how did things change since you were a student? Every year, a fresh group of young people graduate from our country's universities, and they are ready to join the food industry. And many companies are eager to hire these candidates or to offer them internships. Still, they are often unclear about the differences and the similarities in the programs that are offered at the different universities. So we are going to start, and our first presenter is going to be Professor Gunnar Ziggy from Stellenbosch University. So I'm going to hand him the floor. Gunnar.
Thank you very much, Riet, and good afternoon to everyone. As Riet mentioned, just a quick overview of the BSc Food Science course at Stellenbosch University. Next slide, please, Riet. Riet, can you advance the slide for me, please? Just some pictures of our department from inside and out. Next slide, please. Right, so Stellenbosch University offers a BSc Food Science degree. This is a 4-year BSc, hence a professional degree. We're also a selection program, so we only take in between 60 and 70 new students every year, and I'll speak a little bit about that in a later slide. So after the 4-year BSc Food Science degree, the exit level is at NQF level 8. So we don't offer an honors degree because you're already at NQF level 8. And students with this 4-year degree can then go straight into the 2-year research masters. We also offer a PhD and also a DSc. Stellenbosch's food science degree is internationally recognized, and our graduates are highly sought after by the food industry, both nationally and internationally. Next slide, please, Riet. And there's a couple of points on here. So the admission requirements, these are the minimum entry requirements into the BSc Food Science program at Stellenbosch. So 60% average in the school leaving certificate, at least a 4 in English or Afrikaans, maths at least 60%, and physical science at least a 4 or 50%. As I mentioned, though, we're a selection program, so these are only the minimum entry requirements. So these don't guarantee you selection into those 60 or 70 that we do select. So to make it into that selection, you probably need to be getting well above 70 for maths and probably around 70% for physical sciences as well. through many years of research within our faculty, we have seen that mathematics and physical sciences are the best indicators of success within the BSc programs in our faculty. Next slide, please, Riet. So as I mentioned, it's a 4-year food science degree. So the first year is very much foundational with maths, physics, computer skills, biology, chemistry, and then also an introduction to food science. So just one module of 16 credits. Second year still continues on that foundation of chemistry, biochemistry, biometry, and microbiology, with slightly more food science coming into it there with 2 semester modules. The third year then becomes more applied with applied chemistry, microbiology, and quite a lot of food science, which includes meat science, nutrition for the food scientist, quality management systems, cereal science, food and beverage biochemistry, as well as sensory science and analysis. So 96 credits of food science modules in the third year. And the fourth year is very applied with 2 modules of food process engineering, and then some food packaging, food chemistry and analysis, and then the big trial design and product development, which is a 48 credit module, which spans the entire year. Next slide, please, Riet. So as I mentioned, in the fourth year, the product development module really builds on all the foundations of science. The students work in groups in this module and have to come up with a new food product that goes through all the food safety testing, sensory analysis, as well as nutritional analysis. They have to do the packaging for the product. They have to do all the labeling according to the regulations and present those products to the industry also in an exam setting, so for tasting and their report. Next slide, please, Riet. Yeah, so that's just a quick rundown. If anyone has any inquiries, please feel free to send me an email or post any questions in the chat later. I unfortunately have to leave for another engagement, but between the admin, they will forward those questions to me. Thank you very much for your time and for listening. Thanks, Riet.
Good day, everybody. I'm Laura De Silva from the Department of Biotechnology and Food Technology at Tshwane University of Technology. Our program is a diploma in food technology. It's NQF level 6 when you complete with 360 credits, and it's 3 years full time. You'll start noticing a lot of similarities regarding the name of subjects, the type of content, because food science, food technology is a globally accepted field of study, and there are certain criteria that we must all meet. So as you can see, we also have a first year that is really a baseline, trying to get everybody up at the same level regarding chemistry, maths, physics, and microbiology. And we also have an introductory course on food technology preservation. Second year becomes a bit more complex with food product development, food technology commodities on how all the different products are made in the industry, molecular biology, analytical chemistry, biochemistry, food chemistry, and microbial taxonomy. Our third year is divided into 2 parts. We have our first semester, 6 months, where we have classes. We look at industry management, food microbiology, and processing and quality assurance. And then the students go to work in industry for 6 months. So they have a hands-on experience for 6 months before qualifying for the diploma. Riet, to the next slide, please. Okay, once you've done your diploma, you can come back for an advanced diploma in food technology. It's a 1 year full-time or 2 years part-time of 121 credits. There we go a little bit deeper into the subject matter, having advanced food technologies, food components, entrepreneurial skills, safety, quality and safety management systems, very important in the food industry, and project risk management, food safety assurance, and an introduction to research. That you can complete in a year or 2 years, and you don't have to come back, and you can continue in your career with an advanced diploma. Then if you want to continue and you're more of a person that's interested in doing research and research orientated, then you can do a postgraduate diploma in food technology. It is focusing more on a research orientated approach. We would look at doing a research project. We would cover all you would technically go through all the aspects of conducting research. Then we'd go a little bit further into the applied food technologies, food analysis, biometrics, and methodology and ethics. Again, you can complete it in 1 year or 2 years part-time. And if you do well in this and you have the right characteristics to go into research, then you can go in and join the master's program. Next. Okay. So if you've now made it to this point and you're loving science and you're loving learning, then you can do a Master of Applied Sciences for food technology. It is 1 to 3 years full-time and 180 credits. There are no course content-based modules. All of it's research-orientated, and you do a full dissertation in a topic in food technology. And then if you one of our few people in the world that really love your science and want to spend your life in a lab and academia or a research environment, then you can do a doctorate in a Doctor of Philosophy in Science with a thesis in food technology and go into a much deeper level of a topic of your choice. If you have any interest in this programs, then please contact the Department of Biotechnology and Food Technology, and I'm sure our staff will be willing to assist you further. Thanks very much.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Bhekisisa Dlamini. I am from the University of Johannesburg, so I'll take you through the programs at the department. So the department is under the Faculty of Science, and then the department's name is Biotechnology and Food Technology. So this is just how it looks like if you go to our webpage. So in total, if we can move the slides, thank you. So in total, the department has around about 780 students. That is both, biotech and food tech, and half of those will be the food technology. So we've got around about 390 food technology students at undergraduate level. Then we have around about 75 students at postgraduate level, and also we've got 20 postdoctoral research fellows. So at undergrad, we offer a diploma in food technology. So our diploma is 4 years, and the 4 years include 1 year of learn integrated, training or WIL. So our industrial training, which is 1 year, starts in July, and then it finishes in June the following year. So interestingly about, our industrial training, we've got quite a number of students, but we do get to be successful in placing all those students at industry. So around about 65 students that we need to place every year for industrial training. But yeah, we've been, happy to then get all of those students placed. Then after the national diploma, we offer an advanced diploma. Our advanced diploma is 1 year. It is full-time, and as similar to the other universities, it is at NQF 7. If a student still wants to continue with their studies, we also offer a BSc degree or BSc honors degree in food technology, which is 1 year and it is full time. So you are expected to be around here the whole, 1 year. We don't have any part-time, or we don't offer any part-time when it comes to the honors. So the honors is divided into 2 kind of semesters, where in the first, semester, you will be doing, or the students, are doing theory. And then the second semester is dedicated to research only. Then that's how it is. Then if students still want to continue with masters, we offer a master's in food technology that is 2 years, and it's 2 years, then it's just research, which means then you are not going to be attending classes. It's research based and also dependent on getting a supervisor. So after masters, we offer a PhD in food technology, which is 3 years. And similarly, then you'll need to get a supervisor before you are admitted. And importantly to mention, because of numbers for the advanced diploma, the honors, the master's degree, and also the PhD, we prefer students with an average of at least more than 65% to be for those programs. So we will consider you if your marks are then at least above 65%. That is average marks for your kind of program. Then to be at par with international standards, our undergraduate, which is the diploma in food technology, is accredited with the Institute of Food Technologists. And also I think it's last year, we registered with the Shanghai Global Ranking of academic subjects. Please proceed. Then on just a brief on the research front, we have several themes that are, driven by the different colleagues over here. That is in food innovation, food safety, and food waste reduction. Under food innovation, we're trying to look at research that can help in reducing food insecurity in the country. So we're looking at just development of healthy food products from indigenous plants in particular. We also interestingly have a 3D printer where we are printing food. We are very proud of that, in the department. Under food safety, we are big on detection and identification of mycotoxin, and also development of some strategies that we can reduce mycotoxin contamination in our food. And also we work on, the effect of climate change on mycotoxin reduction. Apart from that, we also have themes in food waste and reduction, where we look at the use of byproducts to create value-added food products, also 3D printed packaging, and also looking at some natural pH responsive pigments as food quality indicators. This is not all the research we do, but yeah, it's just, an overview of what we do. Thank you. Then lastly, if someone is interested, they can contact us on the, details that have been shown. Thank you so much.
I think it's us now. Hey?
Good afternoon. Thank you very much. You can move to the next slide. Yeah, my name is Victor Ntuli from the Department of Food Science and Technology. I'm here with my HOD, Dr. Ramashia. And our department is housed in the Faculty of Science, Engineering and Agriculture. We have 5 laboratories which are in the department. Unfortunately, we did not take the photos. We have a pilot plant. We have a food chemistry laboratory, a food microbiology laboratory, and a sensory and evaluation and consumer science laboratory. So the main core modules that we offer in our department is food chemistry, nutrition, food microbiology, post-harvest technology, food engineering, food packaging, quality assurance, and we have a 6 months industrial attachment where the students go on work-related learning in 4th year for 6 months. You can move on to the next slide. So our department offers 3 programs, which is BSc Food Science and Technology, and then a Master's in Food Science and Technology, and also a PhD in Food Science and Technology. I think some of the information here is just to mention that it is accredited, and also we are registered with SAQA. We can move on to the next slide. So for first year, we offer basic entry level courses, which ranges from biology, chemistry, biochemistry, and mathematics. Then at second year level, that is when we actually introduce much of the food science and technology courses. Let's move to the next slide. Third year, we go deeper. That is when we introduce courses like quality management systems, new product development, and also sensory evaluation, including other courses that we offer in the department, such as research methodology, in preparation for them to conduct a research project, especially at 4th year. Then at 4th year, the students, for the first 6 months, they go for industrial attachment. And then one of the modules that we offer, especially a yearly module, is the research module, where we conduct different research with the students, which range from food microbiology, food chemistry, product development, sensory evaluation, etc. Let's move on to the next slide. So at Masters, the entry level for Masters is 65%. So one thing that I think I've missed is that our undergraduate degree is a 4-year program. Then our Masters is a 2-year program, which runs both on part-time and also on full-time. Then after the Masters program, you also need to achieve 65% for you to get enrolled for a doctoral degree, which is run for a minimum of 3 years. So it also offers the same entry requirements as the MSc program. Let's move on to the next slide. I think this is just the list of staff members that we have in our department. The next slide. These are the list of technicians that we have in our department. Then I think I need to stress that what makes us unique is that in the Department of Food Science and Technology at Univen, most of our research is focusing on the indigenous food, or let me just say indigenous knowledge systems. So what we are doing, we are conducting research on indigenous raw materials to produce different kind of foods. We have different patents that we have acquired in the department. And most of the research that we got locally and internationally, they sponsoring us to conduct research mostly on indigenous food products. So one thing that we have done for the review that we did for our program, we have infused a module which focuses basically on African food and beverages. Next slide. I think the contact details is something that we missed, but thank you very much.
Riet, can we move on? We busy linking DUT now. Can we move on to the next?
Okay, so we'll come back to DUT.
If you don't mind, thanks.
All right, sure. Good. So the HOD at the University of Pretoria, Professor JB Dudu, can unfortunately not be here today, so I'm presenting on his behalf. So at University of Pretoria, the food science degree program is housed in the Department of Consumer and Food Sciences. And in our undergraduate program, we have a BSc Food Science that is 3 years. Something that it makes University of Pretoria probably a bit different or unique is that in the same department, we also offer other food-related degree programs. We have a BE Consumer Science in Food Retail Management, also a degree in Hospitality Management, and then 2 BSc degrees, the one focusing on Culinary Science and the other a BSc Food Management focusing on Nutrition. So you will note that the BSc Food Science is 3 years, but we encourage students from year 1 to consider that they will have to do an extra year, the BSc Honours in Food Science. So essentially then 4 years at the university. If we look at the admission requirements, and I'm going to focus specifically on food science, students have to have an admission points system level of 32, and they have to have English home language or additional language at level 5, which is above 60%, mathematics above 60%, and also physical science above 60%. That's the entrance requirements for the BSc programs. In the first year, we give students a strong grounding in the basic sciences, so it's chemistry, physics, microbiology, genetics, and mathematics programs that they have to pass. And then we have our first application in food science, so a module in Introduction to Food Science and Technology, and also another module, Principles of Food Processing and Preservation. Apart from that, advanced level biochemistry, microbiology, agricultural economics, and also a focus on nutrition. So the question is often asked whether our students in BSc programs get practical training. For almost all these modules, there's a practical component as part of the study program. So our students, apart from theory, also do a lot of practical training at the university. At final year or third year level, then it is more applied sciences, so applying the science to food, so food chemistry modules, advanced level food science modules, principles of food science and technology as they apply to plant foods, and then also animal-based food products. Our students also complete a module in food composition and applied nutritional programs. As I mentioned, we encourage our students to do a fourth year, a BSc Honours Food Science, and this is quite a strong research focus. So introduction to research methodologies, sensory evaluation, product development, and quality management. And then each student also do a mini research project at the final August Honours Year level. Also, the technologies, both as they apply to animal food products and plant food products, are incorporated in the honours year. The BSc Food Science and BSc Honours Food Science programs at University of Pretoria is IFT, Institute of Food Technologists, approved. And we prepare our students for a wide range of career opportunities. Training is very much problem-solving based. We have a strong research focus, and we provide a good preparation for further studies, master's and PhD. I think what sets our program apart is that we offer a greater variety of study programs related to food. So at this stage, I must just find out if we have a representative from Cape Peninsula University of Technology now available. Irene, did Dr. Shirima, was he able to join?
He was on. I saw him earlier.
If Dr. Chirumba is available and he can unmute himself to do this presentation.
I don't see him on the list. You can go back to Durban.
Okay.
Sikona is on, and then I can get hold of Dr. Shirumba again.
Good. So Dr. Ms. Nyawosa, we are pleased to welcome you and to listen to your presentation, please.
Good afternoon to everyone. Thank you for this opportunity. I am Zikona, and I'm from the Durban University of Technology in the Department of Biotechnology and Food Science. I'm just going to briefly share with you our food science program. Please go to the next slide. Okay, so our food science program prepares our students to be food scientists, and they can be employed in the lab setting or the industrial environment. And in the industrial environment, they can be employed as quality inspectors, lab analysts, researchers, product developers, packaging technologists, auditors, food factories and suppliers, and so on. So our program prepares our students for a career in industry and also in research, not only in academia, but in industry as well. As an industry researcher as well. Okay, can you please move on to the next slide? Okay, so firstly, we have our undergraduate program or a degree, it's a 3-year degree. It's a BSc and Bachelor of Applied Science in Food Science and Technology degree. And this is a 3-year degree, as I said. So first year students are able to do modules like chemistry, biology, physics. And then second year, it's most now food science and technology 1. And then this is going to be actually the first semester, and then second semester they move on to food science and technology 2. So here I just grouped all of the modules that they do for each year. What I left out is the number of credits for each module. So if you need more information on that, you can contact me and I will be able to send you that information. And then third year, it's food and beverage packaging, food science and technology, and a research project. So third year, first semester students are put into groups and they are able to make a new product or innovative product, which they present. So they also have to work on the packaging of the products, nutritional information, labeling, and all of that. And on the last year, which was the third year, the last semester, they're also put into groups and they work on a project. So this is a research project. So then students are able to experience the both worlds of research and also industry, so product development and so on. Okay, so what I left out here as well is the fact that we offer an advanced diploma. So a couple of years back, we offered a 3-year diploma. Due to curriculum changes, we do not offer a diploma anymore. And we have, as you can see, the 3-year degree, Bachelor of Applied Science in Food Science and Technology. But if students did a 3-year diploma before when it was offered, so when it was offered, it was a 2-year. The student would spend 2 years on campus with modules, and then the 3rd year they would go for an in-service training for the whole year, of which they would work on an individual project in industry, right? So now, if the students wants to come back after obtaining that 3-year diploma, they can apply for an advanced diploma in food science, of which they would join the 3-year degree students in their 3rd year. Okay, and then they can move on if they want to do an honors, a master's, or a doctorate. Okay, so that's the 3-year degree, and then we have, after a 3-year degree and the student qualifies, they can do a 1-year degree, which is the honors degree. It has a 1-year degree, a combination of modules, and then individual research projects. And then if they want to go on further in academia, they can do a master's in applied science and food science and technology. So that is an individual research project of which they submit a dissertation, and then after that, they have an option to do a doctorate in food science and technology, a maximum of 4 years, and they have to submit a thesis. So, can you please go on to the next slide? So, as I mentioned before, these are just examples of what our students do in their 3rd year undergraduate BSc projects. They make new products and they get to work on everything that is about the product. So labeling, packaging, the product itself. And these are just pictures of our undergraduate labs. Let's move on to the next slide. So these are some of the equipment that we have in our research labs now. So honors students, masters and PhD students get to work in different labs. They get to choose, for example, who they want to work with, their supervisors, the type of projects they want to do, and they use this type of equipment. We also have a plant group, we have an enzyme group, and we also have a cancer group or a tissue culture group where within the food science program for honors, masters, and PhD, where students can work on, for example, cancer. So, for example, I am also a PhD student, and I work on trying to find, for example, anti-cancer agents using indigenous crops. So I work in a cancer lab within the food science group. So my point is our program is very broad and there are a lot of choices for students when it comes to their career. So if you have any additional questions, you can just contact me, email or call, and I will give you further information. Thank you so much.
Good, thank you. Thank you, Sikona. I'm going to move back And I want to encourage presenters and to also look at the chat line if there's questions that you want to answer there, and encourage the audience, if you have questions, please post them in the chat line. Dr. George, are you available to join us now?
Yes, thank you very much. I am available now.
Great. We look forward to listening to you.
Thank you. My name is George Sharimba, acting HOD for Food Science and Technology at the Cape Peninsula University of Technology. Our department is called Department of Food Science and Technology, and we call it DFST for short. That's our website there. We are housed in the building called Food Science and Technology Building. And in that building, we are together with Agri-Food Technology Station and Functional Foods Research Unit. The department is actually under the Faculty of Applied Sciences, and the faculty has got 8 different departments. Next slide. A snapshot of our programs is that we have got a 3-year diploma program, as well as a 4-year extended curriculum program, which we call the ECP for short. Now, these are under what we call phasing out, because we are no longer accepting applicants in the first year. However, we have replaced the diploma programs with the Bachelor of Food Science and Technology, which happens to be a 4-year degree program. So after qualifying with your bachelor's and you've got a mark of 65% and above, you can go on to do a Master's of Food Science and Technology degree, whereby it is a fully research-based degree. And this one is for the duration of 2 years minimum, leading on to a Doctor of Food Science and Technology, which also is a research-based degree. So these are the programs in a snapshot. I will now go into the specific details of the Bachelor of Food Science and Technology. So as a 4-year program, it moves from the first year to the 4th year with the different subjects that are shown here on this slide, but I will give the details a little bit more in turn, starting from the first year. If we can move to the next slide. In the first year, the subjects that are done include chemistry, food microbiology, mathematics, food science and technology, physics, biometrics, and food project 1. So these are all required for one to pass because they are foundational in nature and they lead to the second year. Next. And in the second year, we have got 11 subjects: food chemistry 2, chemistry 2, food microbiology 2, food science and technology 2, food product development, food project, mathematics, food analysis, food manufacturing control, biometrics, food quality assurance, as well as food process engineering. So all these, they are second year subjects, but take note that maths, food analysis, and food manufacturing control are in semester 1, and in semester 2, we've got biometrics, food quality assurance, and food process engineering. Then this leads on to the third year. In the study period 3, we have got chemistry 3, food chemistry 3, food microbiology 3, food process engineering, food science and technology, food analysis, food quality assurance, food manufacturing control, food product development, as well as the food project 3. So you can see that there's a scaffolding from the first year right up to the 4th year. Let's move on to the 4th year. And in the 4th year, we have got food chemistry 4, food microbiology 4, food science and technology 4, food analysis and biostatistics 4, food product development 4, food research project 4, food packaging and food safety 4. Now, these subjects, all of them from the first year to the 4th year, you notice that there's always a project, whether it's food project 1, food project 2, 3, or 4. So the essence of the whole qualification is that it is centered around a central project where we have complex practice built into the qualification. So everything that the students learn must be applied in the project. Next slide. Our research areas, the niche areas that we have, we've got quite a number. We've got the Maillard reaction and lipid oxidation area. Also, we have got research, which is very strong in terms of biopolymers for food security. In terms of, we look at insect protein, for instance, to look into the future in terms of increasing or ensuring food security, as well as cereals, legumes. Also, if you notice, our research in the Bambara legumes is quite strong, with a number of patents and so many publications, which we are very proud of. And then we also have another research niche area for fish and meat products. In this case, we also have got quite a number of funding that we have, which was given to one of our lecturers to actually ensure that we continue to major in this area of fish processing and meat product development. Then in fermentations and brewing, this is our micro section, whereby we are also involved in fermentations, let's say looking at propionic acid bacteria, and brewing, also including the brewing competitions that our team goes to and compete nationally. We have got a good niche area there. Last but not least, we also have the pride of the department, the chocolate factory and sugar confectionery. This is a state-of-the-art facility that we've got, and it's going to be commissioned in the coming few weeks. It's actually one of our the best factory equipment that we have, and we will be taking it will be taking us further on in terms of our research in that niche area. We take pride in it quite a lot, and I would invite us to those who can go to our website to just have a look at our equipment there under the virtual tour. So thank you very much. This is the building. This is our iconic pilot plant, which we are very proud of. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor de Kock, for the opportunity and for the initiative. I think this is long due. So my name is Ryk Lewis. I work at the Central University of Technology in the Free State. And our food-related offerings are much similar, I think, to that of the University of Pretoria, in that we've got various different programs with cross-links that you can enter and articulate into and out of the food areas. So most of the activities are housed by the Faculty of Health and Environmental Sciences. So there's a lot of qualifications that we provide that articulates with food in whatever ways, food and technology, food science, food engineering, food chemistry. We do not have formal qualifications in these, but we do have a lot of articulation options, and I'll show you that just now in the next slides. We also have very liberal articulation options amongst the programs. For example, if you do in mechanical engineering, for example, if you focus into processing lines, then you can further articulate into the food degrees and food qualifications. So that, and we also do collaborate a lot with colleagues at University of the Free State in terms of certain activities and projects. You can see there some of our formal logos of the entities we have under the food continuum in our faculty. We've got the Center for Applied Food Sustainability and Biotechnology. I will tell you a little bit about our focus areas there. Then we have the chair in food safety, culture and sustainability. And we also have the CUT Cut Brew Beer Lab, which is the host of the InterVarsity Brew. Some of the former colleagues talked about the InterVarsity Brew, where all the students of all the universities are coming to our campus. They are hosted by our hotel school. And there we have discussions, and we have, tasting, and we've got sensorial evaluations of some of the products that we also host. So those are the subspecialist fields within the research component of food-related subjects at CUT. Next slide, thanks. So the two most formal qualifications that articulates and provides access into food specializations is first the bachelor's in environmental health. That's a 480-degree fourth-year qualification, and with that you can articulate to the master's and the doctorate. And the main subjects and fields that you see within that qualification is food safety and food hygiene, which is the important component of food that we specialize in. Epidemiology, that relates, of course, to also to food safety. Waste management, that plays a big role in food safety and food waste. Meat hygiene. Occupational health and safety, water quality management, that also articulates with food, and then community development, specifically related to informal vendors and the informal SMME community of the food industry. If you do this qualification, your primary profession would be an environmental health practitioner, and your exit level to register at the HPCSA would be the fourth year. But that gives you access then to postgraduate qualifications, even from other qualifications, because you need the fourth year to register as an HPC at the HPCSA. So that gives us leeway and freedom to articulate in the postgraduate fields quite widely. So apart from being an environmental health practitioner in the food field, there's peripheral career options that you have with this qualification in the food field, specifically food safety. We see a lot of consultants in the country that have basic qualifications in environmental health, and because it's such a regulatory environment, they then advance to usually food safety and food quality consultants, meat inspectors, waste and recycling, research and innovation. Then also articulation options. As I said earlier, we are quite liberal, and we are quite progressive in terms of our articulation. So we do have the recognition and lateral articulation that we can have amongst qualifications, but then also the postgraduates. Our main fields there is the Masters in Health Sciences of Environmental Health, with a qualifier or a specialization in food safety or food hygiene. And then that's on SAQA level 9, and then SAQA level 10, the PhD Environmental Health, with a specialization in food. That is 360 credits. What one can also then do, as I said, articulate from other courses and other institutions even wider towards some of these qualifications, and then go further. If we look at our postgraduate specialist fields, those are mostly hosted by the entities in those logos that you see below. Food safety culture, we are that's what you have the chair in, a chair in food safety culture. We have got functional fermentations that hosts the CUT cut, brew and beer lab, and they also look at non-alcoholic aspects like kombucha, for example, do a lot of work on non-alcoholic fermentations and also alcohol-free beer. We do a lot of work on vulnerable food environments, specifically informal vendors, nutritional programs, HIV/AIDS hospices, prisons, where we look at the safety of those food environments, water quality. We do a lot of work on food waste, specifically how the reconsolidation of sell-by and best before, and also packaging, renewable packaging. We have a group in nutraceuticals that look into a lot in local information and also traditional knowledge, and how to take some of those natural compounds specifically with an application in food, which is normally either preservation or taste related and flavor related. We do work on antimicrobial resistance, bioactive compounds, specifically bioactive oils, and then we also have a strong group in geophagia, which is specifically in the Eastern Free State areas, relates to the eating of soil by some of the traditional communities to add to their mineral composition. Thank you. Next slide. The other key qualification that articulates with food is the diploma, advanced diploma, and postgraduate diploma in hospitality management. We've got a very strong hotel school with its various activities, related subjects there that relates to food, culinary studies. This also articulates with our colleagues at the University of Pretoria, that was mentioned by Prof. de Kock, hospitality, health and safety, food and beverage studies, food and nutrition, and hospitality law. There, the mainstream professional positions would be hotel and restaurant manager, executive chef, but there's also a lot of peripheral career fields where students exit or articulate. In catering, recipe and product development, brewing and distilling is one that we're currently developing. Wine sommelier, barista, business development in the food sector, specifically mid-level SME and also wholesale and retail. Again, the articulation there is, as I mentioned before, articulation between different qualifications. We're quite liberal and progressive in that. So you can, for example, have a SAQA level 8 qualification in hospitality management, and then you want to specialize in food, and then based on the articulation requirements and considerations, we can accept you for the master in health sciences, specializing on food, with maybe 1 or 2 bridging subjects. So we allow for articulation amongst qualifications as well. Thank you. Next slide. There's also further away, there's also a lot of other qualifications that you can do at CUT with components and overlaps of the food field. We work a lot with our colleagues at mechanical engineering, specifically in terms of 3D printing. There's now a new organic printer that we acquired. We also work with them in specifically automating some of our processes in the brewery, and looking also at green energy and solar to run some of these. So there's cross-cutting competencies. Again, you can do a mechanical engineering, and then you can specialize and maybe do a postgrad with our center, specializing on aspects of food engineering. We also have agricultural management that also articulates specifically when it comes to primary production. It's in our faculty, and we collaborate with our colleagues on the farm in terms of some of the products that they produce and how to look at further upgrade and development. In the management sciences and humanities, there are also a lot of cross-cutting skills and competencies, as you may know, entrepreneurship, marketing, commercialization, business development, branding and design, consumer dynamics, organizational culture aspects that are in the periphery of the food industry and feeds into this. our biomedical science department. We do collaborate with them. There's also opportunities specifically in terms of food poisoning and gastroenteritis and how that relates, and also some of the cytotoxic aspects and looking into the functional components of natural products. So there's some collaboration. Again, articulation between the qualifications is possible. I mentioned already the postgraduates, masters and doctoral, and then also finally our options of recognition of prior learning and upgrading. This is now a national strategy by the Department of Higher Education, as you know, meaning that you can apply for articulation. If you've got some subjects, you can apply for credits. But you can also apply for advanced standing. Advanced standing means that you prepare a portfolio of evidence, and then you can be considered to acquire access into another qualification, provided that you have the competencies that is enough for the preempting SAQA level. So advanced standing is currently in our policy just renewed to look into students and also, possible students that are more senior, that's got a lot of experience in industry and wanted to maybe formalize that knowledge in a qualification. And also the upgrading option from the master's to the doctorate that has been done at some universities for many years, but it's now also been formalized by DHET. So those are also options for more of our senior colleagues. The next slide. Thank you. That's just a picture of our hotel school, and there you see some contacts. We can also guide you to some of our other departmental heads and colleagues within the institution. There are some contacts there. Mrs. Raputing is our center manager, and my contact details, and also Professor De Smit, who is the head of the brewing initiative. Thank you, Prof. de Kock.
Thank you, Prof. de Kock, for the opportunity to share our new initiative with you. In 2021, the Department of Sustainable Food Systems and Development were formed at the University of the Free State. Sustainable food systems are essential for meeting the needs of both present and future generations. As we all know, food systems are complex and multi-dimensional, involving production, processing, transport, access, and waste recovery. To address this complexity, we designed the new B Food Systems degree to provide a multidisciplinary education involving all dimensions of the food systems. You can go to the next slide, please. Our students will train for jobs in food management while promoting fundamental values such as nutrition and public health, environmental stewardship, and fair food systems. The curriculum focuses on the food value chain, particularly community, consumer, and post-harvest dimensions. It is built on 5 core pillars, which is food security, food product development, including our sensory analysis, quality assurance, and then food processing, the consumption with all the food laws, the trends, and food communication. And then the last leg is or pillar is the economics and innovation. A vital feature of the program is an integrated project on new product development where students will apply their knowledge and in real world context. The ultimate goal is to cultivate holistic thinkers who can lead and advocate for sustainable food systems. Graduates will be equipped to apply their skills across various institutes, small businesses, and organizations. And during the program's development phase, we consulted with several South African companies to ensure that industry's advice and requirements were incorporated in the degree. This collaborative approach ensures that our graduates are prepared for the challenges in the food system landscape. We look forward to shaping the next generation of leaders in sustainable food systems. They can then also, after finishing this degree, they will carry on with a PG DIP in sustainable food systems that is already in the development phase. I'm also very glad to just inform everybody that the BEC in food science will also be back with a new jacket, which meets all the requirements of the IFT. And we are very passionate.
Yes, Maria, I think your microphone is muted there. I'm sure she'll be back.
Okay, was I muted the whole time?
No, just for
Oh,
a
okay.
second or so.
Okay, thank you.
It was when you introduced the food science degree again that's coming back, which was good news, and then you disappeared.
Oh, okay. That was almost the end of my story. We are very passionate about that and bringing back that degree as part of our new formed department. So hopefully it will be sooner than later.
Do you want to continue on this slide?
No, thank you, Prof. That is, I think the people can read themselves. For the B degree, it is the minimum AP of 30, like everybody else's, and then English and Maths. And then for the BEC, we will have the same admission requirements with Maths on 60, Life Science at 60, and then the Physical Science at 60 as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much to all the presenters. This was indeed a very nice trip around the country sitting in my office. So, and I'm sure all of us have learned a lot. Definitely there's been a lot of changes since over the years. So it was great to have this update on different programs. There was a few questions in the chat line, and I think they've been answered here and there. There was one question where someone asked, are there any part-time courses in food technology or food science around South Africa? Or what should one study if there's no part-time courses? So the purpose of today was really to talk about the formal qualifications that's available at the different universities. But I do think that question opens up opportunities for SAFOST as an association to also present refresher courses around particular subjects that that is important for the industry. So we encourage and we are looking forward to individuals that want to associate with SAFOST and present short courses to members in the food industry or people that are looking for opportunities. I would also like to make sure that individuals that are currently studying at undergraduate level look at the opportunities for bursary applications. There are SAFOST bursaries on offer. The requirement is that you need to be a SAFOST member. So if you want to qualify for bursary opportunities, make sure that you are a SAFOST member. If there's more questions, there's a question. We find a lot of biotechnology students applying in the food industry, but they don't quite have the background we need. So that's a comment. And I think that's an important comment. It was good to see the variation in programs offered by the different different universities. So if you have a last question, post it in the chat now. If there's any of the presenters that would like to have a last word based on the questions that were posted in the chat line, please just maybe raise your hand and I can introduce you. I would like to take this opportunity to really thank all the presenters from the different universities, Stellenbosch University, Tshwane University of Technology, University of Johannesburg, University of Venda, Durban University of Technology, University of Pretoria, Cape Peninsula University of Technology, Central University of Technology, and the University of Free State for participating in this webinar today and for also sending in your slides very quickly and making it easy for SAFOST to host this webinar. With that, I'm going to close the webinar and say thank you and have a great afternoon and evening. Goodbye.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for your initiative. Bye.